The England of long ago was a beautiful land, a place of thick forests and sweet streams. This was the royal England, the England of kings and nobles. The great families that ruled the country lived in magnificent castles, centuries old and proof against the strongest attacks. The royal estate spread across green, fertile fields. It was a rich land, a place of plenty. In this England, there was a young prince. His name was Edward Tudor. He lived amid splendor and pageantry. In time, Prince Edward would become the next king of the realm. Not far from the palace of Prince Edward, there was another England, the England of the common people. Strangers to the pomp and luxury of royal life, they followed simple ways in quiet villages and on small farms. The poorest of the commoners lived in the great sprawl of London town. In one of London's slums, there was a young pauper, a ragged boy who begged for bread. The pauper was named Tom Canty. He dreamed of a bright world beyond his own garbage court. In those days, nobles and commoners never met. But the royal prince and this lowly pauper did meet, and they shared a strange adventure that would change their lives. This is their story. Spot these eyes have seen all week. Take me for a poor blind beggar.
Robbers, thieves, crooks, villains.
Who are you calling a thief? Why, I ought to tear your tongue out of your head for mocking a poor, honest workman, so I've a good mind to teach you a proper lesson. We don't take kindly to such things around here, do we, lads?
No.
We are the lads of Garbage Court, of whom you may have heard report. And if you're not the rugged sort, then stay away from Garbage Court, for there is no one tall or short that we won't fight in Garbage Court.
We are the lads of Garbage Court, of whom you may have heard report. And if you're not the rugged sort, then stay away from Garbage Court, for there is no one tall or short that we won't fight in Garbage Court. We are the lads of Garbage Court, of whom you may have heard report. And if you're not the rugged sort, then stay away from Garbage Court, for there is no one tall or short that we won't fight in Garbage Court.
We are the lads of Garbage Court, of
We are the lads of Garbage Court,
and if you're not the rugged sort, then stay away from Garbage Court, of whom you may have heard report. And if you're not the rugged sort, then stay away from Garbage Court, for there is no one tall or short that we won't fight in Garbage Court. We are the lads of Garbage Court, of whom you may have heard report. And if you're not the rugged sort, then stay away from Garbage Court, for there is no one tall or short that we won't fight in Garbage Court.
Well, me good-for-nothing son. So this is how you spend your time. Show me the money you brought home today.
Well, it was not a good day for begging, Father. I didn't even get a penny.
You're lying. You're keeping the money so you can spend it for yourself.
No, that's not true. You may search me if you like.
What's this?
It's a book. I'm trying to teach myself the letters of the alphabet. Why, you see, Father, this be a T, and that's an O, and that's an M. They be the letters of my name. It spells Tom.
Oh, 'tis a marvel. Tom can be in two places at once. Now, what would you want to learn letters for?
Why, the letters make words, and then the words make sentences, and then you can read books.
Books, eh? Well, what would a beggar boy like yourself want to read books for?
Oh, Father, if you only knew the wonderful things they tell about inside.
There's people who wear the finest things. There's ladies, princes, and even kings. Just like gold and silver, their garments look in a storybook. There's music, dancing, and sweet perfumes. There's chandeliers in such grand ballrooms. There's always plenty of food to cook in a storybook. Instead of wares and wagons, there's giants, bears, and dragons. Instead of shouts and screaming, there's buried treasure gleaming. Sometimes at nights I will dream that I have taken wings, and away I fly to my palace by an enchanted book in a storybook. There's gypsies with their wagons, there's giants, bears, and dragons. There's wicked pirates scheming, a buried treasure gleaming. Sometimes at night I will dream that I have taken wings, and away I fly to my palace by an enchanted book in a storybook. In a storybook.
Nonsense and rubbish. Sounds like a waste of time to me. How do you expect me to pay the rent if you spend all day reading instead of begging? Well, here's your reward for coming home empty-handed. Now then, Tom Canty, you get out there on that street and you beg for all you're worth.
Yes, Father.
And if you can't beg, then steal. But don't you dare come home Unless you have a handful of coins to show for yourself.
Yes, Father. Alms for a pauper boy.
Well, that's better.
Alms for a pauper boy.
This, then, was how Tom Canty, poorest of the poor, lived. His dreams of what lay beyond Garbage Court were just dreams. To eat, he was forced to beg or be beaten by his cruel father. So on this one day, Tom set out through the little villages that surround London town, begging from door to door for a penny, anything that he could bring back to Garbage Court, so his father would let him sleep on his ragged bed and dream again of a better world someday. Despairing and hungry, Tom trudged down quiet and lonely roads until he came to a mighty and majestic castle, the palace of the King of England and his son, Prince Edward.
Arms for a pauper boy.
Yes. My lord. My lord, I was wondering if I could have a word with you.
Yes, what is it?
Sire, your father, the king, has asked if you will assign these papers since he is sick of bed and too ill to attend to the matter himself.
Certainly. Let me see them. But these are warrants of execution.
Well, you need not trouble yourself as to what they are, my lord. Just sign them.
John Thomas is accused of stealing threepence to buy a loaf of bread.
Oh, yes.
And Tom Wood is accused of talking back to one of the king's guards.
Dreadful.
To cut off a man's head for crimes such as these seems rather strict punishment. I must study the matter more fully.
But as you wish, my lord.
Arms for a pauper boy with a sick mother. Arms for a pauper boy.
Oh, what a bother.
I've been a-begging from Pudding Lane all the way to Charing Cross. I've been a-begging but all in vain. At begging I'm a total loss. I haven't collected a penny. Nobody stops to give me any. Alms for a pauper boy with a wicked father. Alms for a pauper boy. My mother tells me I'm much too proud, and I have a gentle heart. But these are traits that are not allowed if I'm to play the beggar's part. I've wandered all over the city, trying to move some soul to pity. Alms for a pauper boy with aching feet. Alms for a pauper boy.
Get off the street! The boy looks hungry and tired. Can we give him a few pennies, Lord Hertford?
Of course not. Don't you know that your father, the king, has decreed that begging is a crime? And there are hundreds of dirty little rogues just like him all over the streets of London. They have no money, it's their own fault. You! Yes, you, boy, come here. Come here. Here's some alms for you. Now get away from the palace, you wretched little creature, and be quick about it.
How dare you use a poor lad like that?
But I won't.
Young boy. Yes, you there. Come up the steps and I will let you in.
What about...
Come here, boy. Are you? Yes. I am Edward, the Prince of Wales. That's all right. There's nothing to fear. You mean he won't eat me? No, lad.
My lord, this is most unseemly. My lord, look at his feet. He'll get the carpet all dirty.
That's enough, Lord Hertford. We won't be needing you for a while.
That's 5 years, and you won't be needing me for a while.
I apologize for the rudeness of my minister. Come in. Have something to eat. Go on, help yourself. I'd like to talk with you if you don't mind. I get so few opportunities to meet a boy of my own age. Tell me, what's your name?
Tom Canty, it pleases, sir.
Well, Tom Canty, have you got parents?
Yes, sire. I've got a mother who's very nice, but unfortunately she's sick.
And your father, is he kind to you?
John Canty? No, indeed. Neither is he kind to anyone else.
My father hasn't got a doll's temper either. A king has to be mean, otherwise nobody will obey him. Here is a portrait of my family. I always carry it with me here in this gold locket. That's my sister Elizabeth and my cousin, Lady Anne.
They look beautiful.
They're all right, I mean for girls. But tell me about where you live and what you do there.
Oh, well, I live in Garbage Court. It's not a very pretty place. We have fun there. Why, there be Punch and Judy shows and plays. Plays wherein all the players do shout and fight till all of them are killed.
Tell me more.
Oh? We lads of Garbage Court do strive against each other with wooden swords.
That sounds like fun. Go on.
Sometimes we race each other to see who of us can run fastest, and we play leapfrog and what else? Well, in the summer, sire, in the summer we wade and swim in the river, and each one ducks his neighbor and spatters him with water, and dives and shouts.
Oh, it would be worth my father's kingdom but to enjoy it once. Go on, lad.
Sometimes we make pies out of mud. Oh, the lovely mud. There's nothing to delight us in all the world. Oh, we do fairly well in the mud.
Say no more. 'Tis glorious. If I could but clothe me in garb like yours, and run barefoot, and roll in the mud once, just once, with none to scold or forbid me. Methinks I could give up the crown.
Oh, and would that I could clothe me as you are clad, just once.
And would you like it? And so shall it be. Why don't we switch?
I don't like having 300 valets always getting in my way. I don't like being taken to those ballets. As for me, I'd rather run about than play. With no servants here to scratch me when I eat. Why don't we switch? Why don't we switch? I don't like eating bread without butter, not having any toys. But I don't like always playing in the gutter and then getting wet besides for making noise. It's so inconvenient sleeping in a ditch. Why don't we switch? Why don't we switch? I would like to see what a farm is and maybe look at a cow without the Lord Chamberlain to tell me what the harm is and what the royal manners won't allow. I would like to get my hands as black as pitch. Why don't we switch? Why don't we switch? I would like to go riding on a pony. I think that would be so grand. I'd like watching a royal ceremony with a half a dozen knights in my command. I would like to be extravagantly rich. Why don't we switch? Why don't we switch? Why don't we try it just for a minute? We can change right back again as soon as we begin it. There couldn't possibly be any so why don't we switch?
Have you noticed something very strange? Yes, but I didn't think it was my place to say anything.
Then I'll say it. We look almost exactly alike. It's as if we had not made the switch at all. Perhaps. Why not? You stay here and play at being a prince a while. I want to go out and see what it feels like to play leapfrog. I'm going to go get me some mud.
Yes, but
don't worry, I'll be right back. We can change our clothes again and nobody will know except us. Farewell.
You there. Yes, you there. Pour me a glass of wine. And another. We won't be needing you for a while.
Being an aristocrat can be done in nothing flat. There is really very little to it. You simply say do this, do that, and when you say do this, do that, they do it. Servants everywhere abound. How'd it be to boss 'em round? I don't know, but I think I shall try it. For if you laugh, they will laugh too, and if you say, please tie my shoe, they tie it. Do this, do that, and they'll take off their hat. Do that, do this, oh my, what bliss. If you dress in fancy clothes and you strike a regal pose, other people bow right down before you. Hold out your glass they fill, and they won't mind, in fact they will adore you. Do this, do that, and they'll take off their hat. Do that, do this, oh done, nothing flat. If you want to strike the gong, we'll strike it. To be King Henry's only son is such a jolly lot of fun. I like it!
And so it started. The extraordinary adventure of the Prince and the Pauper, who exchanged their identities and their lives. It began as a game born of curiosity and learning. Before the game was done, it would shake all of England. As Tom fell into an exhausted sleep in the palace, the real Prince Edward struck off toward London and Garbage Court. He was going to explore the world of a beggar boy. He was full of excitement and wonder. The prince had never been left on his own before. Wherever he went, he'd always been trailed by tutors and pages and ministers and guards. For the first time in his life, he felt truly free to see and to do exactly what pleased him. The prince's new freedom would soon bring some sudden and startling surprises.
I say, may I play too?
Surely.
Well, what do I do first?
Come over here. Now, bend down.
You watch it, scamp. Try someone else. Ow! How dare you? Let go of me. Ow! Let go of me.
I just stole these jewels from a rich lady.
Look who I found wandering about the streets, Hugo. And he hasn't even begged one penny yet.
But you see, I'm not really a beggar.
Well, if you want to be a thief like Hugo, then let's see what you've stolen today.
I'm not a thief either. I'm Edward, the Prince of Wales.
And I'm Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt. Listen to me, my good-for-nothing son.
I'm not your son.
Oh, talk back to me, will you? That's something nobody does. Understand? Oh, pity the man who talks back to me, for his future would be awful grim after I get my hands on him. I would like to meet him on a dark, damp night in a long, lonesome alley with no lamplight. I'd like to fill him with a feverish fright and fell him in a fierce, ferocious fight. Oh, pity the man who gets in my way. I will tear the blighter limb from limb after I get my hands on him. With his gruesome grunting and his ghastly groans, he would make melancholy and mournful moans. He'd soon be strewed upon the cobblestones, with nothing left of him but bleak, bare bones. Oh, pity the man who won't cater to my most tiny little wish and whim. I'll make sure he understands after I get my hands on him.
You may be trying to frighten me, but I still say I am Edward, the heir to the throne. And I have proof of it right here.
What's this?
You don't recognize it? It's a portrait of the royal family, which I always wear.
Well, I don't recognize nothing, except that this is real gold and worth a magnificent price. Where did you get it?
I told you it's mine. I've always had it.
Oh, so you've been holding back on us, have you? You was gonna sell it and keep it for yourself, no doubt. I'll break every bone in your body or my name's not John Canty.
John Canty? Then you must be his father. Mr. Canty, I know where your son is.
No more of your insolent tricks. You're not gonna run away from me this time. Not if you're able to steal us something as valuable as this. Now I'll get the truth out of you, even if I have to beat it out. Get him back.
Allow me to introduce myself.
With a sword in my buckle, I'm a swashbuckling knight. With a sword in my buckle, I'm a swashbuckling knight. I ride around the countryside doing what is right. I will fight against injustice with all of my might. For my name it is Miles. Name it is Miles. For my name it is Miles.
What right have you got interfering with a loving father in the performance of his child-raising duties?
Sir, he is not my father. My father is in the palace, and I am the Prince of Wales.
The Prince of Wales? Well, Prince or no Prince, you're a brave little lad, and Miles Hendon shall protect you.
Is that a real sword?
Why don't you run up against it and see, huh? Come on, lad. I don't think it's safe for you here. You'd better come along with me. Come on, then.
Good morning. I'm quite all right today, my lord.
Truly I'm no lord, but only poor Tom Canty of Garbage Court, so please be merciful and spare me.
But why are you on your knees to me? Don't you recognize me? I'm your own cousin, Lady Anne.
Oh, yes, I recognize you from your picture.
Picture? Oh, teasing me again. Come on, let's practice the minuet.
The minuet?
The minuet, silly. I taught it to you yesterday. You remember? First I curtsy to you, 2, 3. Then you bow to me, 2, 3. Come on, let's try. Go ahead and bow.
You mean like this?
Oh! No, silly. Heavens, what is the matter with you today?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've got a headache.
You've been studying too hard again.
Yes, I've been studying too hard again.
I'd better go tell Lord Hertford.
Thank you for rescuing me, Hendon.
Well, that's all right, lad. It's all part of my duty to right some of the wrongs which go on in this kingdom.
I never realized there was so much injustice in my father's realm. But I will help you to set it right as soon as I'm restored to my rightful power.
Yes, of course, but first let's have us a little supper, shall we?
A little supper. Please call me when the table is spread.
Well, I'll be. The little beggar takes over my things as if he owned them. With never a by your leave, nor so please you, nor anything of the sort. Poor thing. Doubtless he's been beaten so much his mind has become disarranged. Yeah, I like the bold-tongued little rascal. He's not an average boy. There's something outstanding about him. How soldier-like he carries himself. And what a sweet, gentle face he has. If only I could cure him of his malady. He might make me proud of him someday.
Oh, please let them kill me quickly. Don't let them torture me.
Lady Anne is right. You certainly are acting strangely today, my lord. First, you've taken a dirty little pauper boy right off the street. And now you're talking about people killing.
Yes, but you don't understand.
Now,
you see, I'm not
find
really...
those papers I gave you. The papers.
What papers?
Well, the warrants of execution. I left them right here. The warrants of execution.
Oh, those papers. Well, I haven't been able to read all of them.
Well, it's true that some of them are written in Latin, but we understand Latin. Don't we?
We do?
You do.
I do?
Yes, of course you do. You've been learning it very nicely along with Greek and French.
Greek and French?
What's that? Dear Prince Edward. Sweet Prince Edward, you must be feeling very tired.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am feeling a little tired.
Yes, well, I'll run along to your chamber and prepare your bed for your nap. After all, you've a very busy schedule this afternoon. The royal banquet and the cabinet meeting.
I just wish I could go home.
Could it be that he is not the prince? By the soul of Saint Swithin, he must be the prince. Only if he is the prince, why then he's temporarily... The prince is mad. The prince is crazy. His judgment has become a little hazy. It seems that his books have affected his head. He doesn't think that he is he, but someone else instead. The prince is mad. The prince is crazy. He's turning all his palace upsy-daisy. He doesn't remember one word of his Greek. We hardly know that he is he whenever he doth speak. What dreadful and disturbing news! Whenever we the king do lose, the heir unto the English throne shall be a boy whose wits have flown. What a dreadful situation, that the ruler of our nation shall, unless he changes quick, be a raving lunatic. The prince is mad, the prince is crazy, his memory has become a little lazy. The faces he should know he cannot recall. In fact, there isn't anything he does recall at all. The prince is mad, he's very sad. The prince is crazy!
Your supper is ready, sire.
If you don't mind.
What's the matter, lad?
Good, sir. I want to get washed.
Well, go ahead. Ask not permission of Miles Hendon for anything. Help yourself, lad.
Please pour the water.
Please, pour the water.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Come, the towel. Forbear! Would you sit in the presence of the prince?
Oh, I forgot.
Never mind. You have saved me injury and shame, perhaps my life, and so my crown. Such service demands rich reward. Therefore I grant you this privilege, that you and your heirs forever may sit in the presence of the majesty of England.
Oh, thank you, my lord, for my legs are grievously weary.
Tell me, are you married?
No, indeed, lad.
Well, is there some lady for whose sake you've promised to do good deeds?
Oh, yes, there is. A beautiful damsel with whom I've been in love for some time.
Who is she?
What does it matter? For such a love would be hopeless, you see. She is a high-born princess. And although I'm cold tonight, I have no title, nor no castle to call my own.
I'll fix that right now. Kneel. I dub thee Sir Miles Hendon, Earl of Kent. What's the lady's name?
She's the most beautiful lady in all of England. Her name is the Lady Anne.
Lady Anne? I'll put in a good word for you. You don't believe I really am the prince, do you?
Well, lad,
I think you doubt my word. If you don't know who I really am, why are you so kind to me?
Because it's rather a lonely life being a knight.
Yes?
Yes, it is. I often wish I had somebody to ride with me and help me. After all, everybody needs somebody to take care of.
Everybody needs somebody to love. Everybody needs somebody to love. You're all alone in the world. I'm all alone too. Why don't you look after me? And I will look after you, 'cause everybody needs somebody to love. Everybody needs somebody to love. You can be my little brother. I will be your father and mother. We two may be dispossessed, but each of us has found a friend, so take yourself a little rest. Your worries are at an end. I'm so glad that I have you to take care of. Everybody needs somebody to love.
Everybody needs somebody to love. Everybody needs somebody to love. You're all alone in the world. I'm all alone too. Why don't you look after me? And I will look after you, 'cause everybody needs somebody to love. Everybody needs somebody to love. I will be your little brother. You can be my father and mother. We two may be dispossessed, but each of us has found a friend. So take yourself a little rest. Your worries are at an end. I'm so glad that I have you to take care of everybody. Need somebody to love.
So glad that I have you to take care of everybody. Need somebody to.
Everybody needs somebody too.
Everybody needs somebody to love.
Unearthly nurse sits and sings, and she sings by lily's wing, and little can I, my Burns father, for less the land where he dwells in. I am a man upon the land. I am a silky on the sea. And when I'm far and far I land, my home it is in Scully.
He's taken my bed again. Now what shall I do?
You will sleep against the door tonight and guard it.
He should have been born a prince. He plays the part to perfection. Now, who can that be? Lady Anne, what are you doing here? Won't you be missed at the palace?
I was very upset, Miles. I just had to talk to you.
Of course. Come on, we'll walk a while and you can tell me what's the matter.
Neither Miles Hendon nor Lady Anne realized that they had become unwittingly linked in an innocent hoax that had gotten dangerously out of hand. Miles didn't know that it was the true heir to the throne who rested now in his cottage at the edge of this field. And Lady Anne didn't know that the prince, whom she'd left at the palace, was in fact a pauper.
We were under oath in the palace not to mention this to anyone, but I was afraid the king might find out about it. It would make him even more ill than he is now.
Find out about what?
The prince. He's not himself lately. He's acting very strange.
How so?
Well, for one thing, he's forgotten all his manners. He tried to eat mashed potatoes with his fingers. And then when Lord Hertford tried to hand him a table napkin, he refused it. Not only that, but he's forgotten his Latin, Greek, and French. And to make matters worse, he claims he's not really the prince at all. Some pauper from the slums.
Oh, that's odd. That's very odd indeed. It reminds me of something that happened to me today. I was going along, and I came across a pauper boy being sorely mistreated by his father. And taking pity upon the lad, I brought him to my lodgings, hoping by kind treatment to cure him of his malady.
Malady? What malady?
He thinks he's the Prince of Wales.
Are you sure this is the place?
Aye, yes.
Come on, then. Hendon's gone. Now's our chance. Go on, I'll wait here. And you go. Are you sure you know what you're supposed to do?
Yes. Is my disguise all right?
Well, if you ask me, it's a big improvement. Go on, go
Who's there? A friend of Miles Hendon. Very good. Where is he? Have we met before? You look very familiar. I don't believe I've had the pleasure. No matter. What is it you wish? I come as a messenger for Miles Hendon. He sends for you. Sends for me? Why, truly, he should have come himself. Well, last he was unable to. My Geist, voice says it's urgent. Perhaps he is in trouble. I'll come then. You wait here.
Quickly then, take me to him.
Aye, and right quick too. This way. King Henry's dead. What? King Henry VIII is dead.
Well, I say good riddance to him. He was a cruel king, anyway.
Aye, marry, that he was. Took away the farmers' land so they had to beg, and then passed laws against begging so they had to steal.
Well, let's hope the next king has a kinder heart.
I tell you, we must do something. If the people find out that the prince is... If they find out about his condition, there's no telling what they might do. There might even be a revolution. Yes, we must have the coronation today.
But Lord Hertford, won't that take time? I mean, all the preparations. The royal robes aren't ready yet, and the cathedral is still being prepared. The workmen say it'll be at least 2 more days before it's ready.
No, no, no. We must have the coronation today.
But, my lord, where?
Where?
The church.
Oh, no, no, no. I have it. The Tudor church. Why, it's been in the family for over 600 years. What better place for the coronation than the old ruins where the prince's ancestors still lie? Tudor church.
Hey, mateys, we got the little rascal back. And he won't get away again, I'll warrant you.
Don't Canty, have you heard the news?
What news?
King Henry's dead.
You wouldn't be making sport of me, would you?
No, it's true. The coronation of the new king takes place this very afternoon.
This afternoon?
Aye.
The coronation, eh? What luck?
What you mean?
Use your head, numbskull, and you'll see it'll be a perfect place for us to use our fingers. It'll be a pickpocket's paradise.
The big crowd. It's in the confusion. Are you sure King Henry's dead? Of course I'm sure. The town crier did announce it this very afternoon. Why then, I'm no longer Prince Edward, but King Edward, ruler of all England.
Pay no attention to him, mates. He's gone completely daft.
Well, at least his madness is in keeping with the time. The king! The king! I am the king, as you shall know very well in good time. I'll have you all punished for your treachery. What? You'd betray us to the law, would you?
All right, all right. You must not threaten your mates, me boy. And you must not misuse the name of the king. We may all be beggars and thieves, but one thing we're not guilty of is treason.
Don't give Edward, the new king of England, the new king of England.
All right, drop it, boy. Choose some other title.
How about Foo-Foo? Foo-Foo the First, king of Your Majesty, would you please to accompany me?
King Foo-Foo! Long live King Foo-Foo!
Long live King Foo-Foo the First, king of the bombs. Hooray! Make way, for here he comes.
He don't look like no king, I'll bet. He ain't been coronated yet. Stand by, mates, and watch the joke. Here's the blanket for his cloak. This cudgel can his scepter be, but don't forget it belongs to me.
Here's a pot turned upside down. It can serve him for a crown.
And yonder keg, it is well known, was just designed to be his throne.
Long live King Foo-Foo the First, king of the bombs. Hooray! Make way, for here he comes.
Your every wish is our command, your majesty.
Please bless us with your royal and your majesty.
Hey, listen, mates, and mark this well. Thy foot hath the kingly smell. It hit me.
Spurned by the king, all goodness knows, his soul's more precious than the rose.
Please give me a rag, I'll put it there, protect his foot from the vulgar air.
Long live King Foo-Foo the First, king of the bombs. Fly, trumpets, fly, and beat the drums. For Foo-Foo, the cuckoo, king of the bombs.
Hendon!
Well, well, mild Hendon. So we meet again. Only this time, I too am armed.
I'm warning you, John Canty. Let the boy be, or you shall sorely regret it.
I'd be a fool to give up such a fine thief. Look at the prize he came home with yesterday.
Where did you get that thing, lad?
I've always had it. Inside there's a portrait of my family, and on the back the Tudor crest.
That may be worth more than you know, Mr. Canty.
Good. Then I'll keep it and sell it.
Even as Miles Hendon fought to try and free the prince, the coronation was beginning. Tom was terrified. He was about to be crowned King of England, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. Nobody would believe that he was plain Tom Canty, pauper boy of Garbage Court. What had started out as a game was about to end as a catastrophe. In a moment, he would be supreme ruler of the realm. Tom wished desperately he could find some way to run away and hide. Even more, he wished the real prince might magically appear and explain everything and claim his crown. Tom had never felt so helpless and so alone.
What's wrong, my liege? In a few moments, the crown of England will be placed upon your head. You should be happy.
I know.
My lord, the people observe your downcast countenance, and they take it for a bad sign. Please try not to act as though you're on your way to your own funeral. That's it. Smile.
Oh, it's no use, Lady Anne. I feel like I am at my own funeral. For as soon as I'm crowned, the real me will no longer exist.
Real you?
Do you remember that old lady we passed in the crowds? The one who called out to me.
You mean the beggar lady in the ragged dress? Yes.
That was my mother.
Good heavens. You would have to go mad again just at the wrong time.
Run back to the castle. I'll meet you later.
Lock it, Mr. Canty, and be quick about it.
Take back the awful thing. I'm sorry I ever laid my eyes on it.
It's the Tudor crest.
Stop! Stop! I forbid you to set the crown of England upon his head. I am the prince.
How dare you?
Stop! No, don't touch him. He is the prince.
There is an amazing resemblance.
Do you remember the vagabond which the prince took into the palace the other day?
Yes.
That was me.
You? But how could that be possible? We decided to change clothes, just as a game. We didn't think that some people judge you only by your clothes, and that there is one law for the rich and another for the poor.
Well, it's an interesting story, but how can we find out if it's true? Yes, I know. Let us see how well he knows the members of the royal family. What did the prince give his sister, the Lady Mary, on her last birthday?
Why, truly, it was a necklace of rubies and pearls.
And what is your cousin, the Lady Anne's favorite pastime?
Well, aside from a certain friend of mine, why, truly, it is music. How she does love to sing. And what a sweet voice she has, too.
There, you see? It is remarkable, but no less than you could likewise tell us.
Why will you not believe him?
Guards, arrest this vagabond and take him to the dungeon.
No, hold.
One more question. Answer me this, and the riddle is unriddled. Where is the golden locket that the prince always does wear about his neck?
Well, I know where it is.
Where? Where?
Where?
I've got it. What is this? Am I seeing double?
Where did you get that locket?
I got it from a pauper boy who claimed to be the Prince of Wales.
And so indeed he is. No, I'm not the prince, he is. Just as I always told you.
coronation.
Misunderstandings cleared away, let joy gladness rule the day. La la la, la 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 la, la la la, la 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 la. Each with true identity, let your celebration be. La la la, la 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 la, la la la, la 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 la. Let from the sound of voices ring, the king is once again a king. Instead of the law of light may strike, my mercy shall shine bright. La 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 la, la 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 la.
How dare you? Sire, who is this person? This is my trusted and beloved servant, Miles Hendon, who saved me from harm and possible death. In honor of his service, he has the royal permission to sit in the presence of the king. And he is now made the Earl of Kent, and shall have golden lands in accordance with his dignity.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Hendon, is there any other favor you wish to request to the throne? Ask, and it shall be granted.
Yes, there is, Your Majesty. Now that I am able to offer her a fortune and a future, I should like to ask for the hand of the Lady Anne in marriage.
I seem to remember, I'd say, putting in a good word for you. But I seem to feel it may not be necessary. How say you, cousin? Does this proposal please you?
Oh, my lord, nothing could please me more.
Everybody needs somebody to love. Everybody needs somebody to love. You're all alone in the world, I'm all alone too. Why don't you look after me, and I will look after you, 'cause everybody needs somebody to love. Everybody needs somebody to love. You can be my little brother. I will be your father and mother. We two may be dispossessed, but each of us has found a friend. So make yourself a little rest. Your worries are at an end. I'm so glad that I have you to take care of. Everybody needs somebody to love.
Tom Canty.
Where are you going?
Home, sir, to see my mother.
Your mother shall be sent for, and shall come to live with you here in the palace.
Because of your loyalty, and because you showed yourself to be able to carry out important business estates, I am putting you in charge of the Royal Library.
The Royal Library? You mean I can read all the books I want?
That's me boy, Hugo.
Aye, John, it is.
Oh, where the finest things, there's ladies, princes, and even kings. Just like gold and silver, their God is love. In a storybook, there's music, dancing, and sweet perfumes. There's chandeliers in such grand ballrooms. There is always plenty of food to cook. In a storybook, instead of wares and wagons, there's giants, bears, and dragons. Instead of shouts and screaming, there's very treasure gleaming.
Frogs and leapfrog indeed. What kind of spirit had invaded the royal household? What kind of reign was beginning for Edward, the undoubted King of England? It was, in fact, a joyous reign, not at all stuffy and solemn. It was the kind of reign that can come about when an adventurous and exuberant youth receives the crown.